Hi guys, it's Jason here with the Humpy Report, and it's the first video of 2019. Play the first game on August 24th. Miami and Florida highlights those games on week 0. That game's in Orlando this year. It's going to be a good game. Florida, Miami, two teams that I think that could win the conferences. I have Florida winning the SEC at 11-1, beating Alabama in the SEC title game this year. I love what Felipe French um, has done at quarterback. I love what Dan Martins has done in the swamp. And pretty much I want some new blood in the college football playoff. We'll talk about pretty much every Power 5, some Group of 5 conferences. This video has no script, has no plans. We're going to just talk about football. I know it's me talking and you guys listening, hopefully watching. I appreciate it. Whoever watched these videos, if it's 5 people, 1 people, 10s, 20s, maybe 100s, who knows. But as an Oregon fan, we're 30 days away from the opening, the kickoff of Oregon football. Oregon it's going to be a rematch of the 2010 national title game. It's going to be the Auburn Tigers and the Oregon Ducks. As an Oregon fan, probably top 5 most heartbreaking losses. Oregon lost that game 22-19. The game was tied. Micah Dyer breaks off a 30-yard run at the end of the game. Logan thought he was down, but he kept his balance and ran inside the 20, and Auburn kicks the game-winning field goal with seconds to go. Auburn was led by Cam Newton that season. But Oregon, big expectations for Oregon this year. They're picked by the media to win the North. I don't have them winning the North. I think the North will go to Washington this year. Just because Oregon plays Washington on the road this year, it's going to be a really pivotal game for that conference. A lot of big conference games, especially on the north side of things. You have Washington, Stanford, Oregon, Stanford, Washington, Oregon. Let's not forget about Washington State that has beat Oregon the last 4 years. Don't forget about Cal. Cal's definitely a sleeper team in the conference. They got the quarterback, Greg Bowles, that's returning. Sorry for any Cal fans if I butchered that name. But Cal's another sleeper team. Can Doug Baldwin really get this Cal offense running? Because in my opinion, I don't think Doug Baldwin has got this offense together in the first couple of years that he's been at Cal. The points per game just hasn't been there. The defenses under Justin Wilcox has been a very good component for Cal's teams. Cal beat Washington at home last year. Cal's offensive points per game, let's see, that's been 27.8 in 17 and 21.5 in last year. That has to be risen up, especially with the offenses in the Pac-12. Cal has a big game. They go to Ole Miss in the preseason. They should win that ball game. Let's going over my predictions. I do have Cal going at 7-5 in the overall landscape of things. They're going to be right there with the Cougars. The Cougars really good a team underneath Mike Leach, but once again, he has a new quarterback. Questions out the quarterback position. I know it was a plug and play last year with Garner Ncaa that won Offensive Player of the Year in the Pac-12, but that's another question for the Cougars. I know they got that Eastern Washington transfer. So what we'll see. That's something to look forward to. Big Ten. It's the Big Ten without Urban Meyer. How does that look? Ryan Day. I know for Buckeye fans, they think, hey, we're so talented. It doesn't matter who's coaching. But I think at the end of the day, Ryan Day's gonna get exposed as a head coach. I can lose a couple ball games. I got Michigan winning that side of the Big Ten. In my opinion, for Jim Harbaugh, if he's going to beat Ohio State, it's going to have to be this year. I have Michigan going 10-2 with big wins over. I think I have them losing to Notre Dame. No, I have Michigan beating Notre Dame because that's in the big house. Notre Dame, that's going to be another team that's going to be in the conversation of the playoffs. One of my good buddies has Wisconsin and Notre Dame as a national title pitcher, and I respect his opinion. But I think Wisconsin, they could definitely be in the playoff. I have them going 11-1, just because on the schedule, it's not really enough games to give them any issues about. I have them lone loss is to Iowa, and what they're picking that game as a loss, I don't feel too confident that they will lose it. As far as a team that gets a lot of hype this year is Nebraska. I get it. They have Adrian Martinez, and when he was healthy last year, Nebraska moved the ball. Last year, they did really finish off the year at a good spot last year. They didn't really open up the season particularly good, but they ended with I want to say, good amount of wins at the end. Let's just check the handy book. But Phil Steele, if anybody doesn't have Phil Steele, I suggest to go for it. They did win 4 out of the last 6 ball games. They did finish 4-8, but Scarfax has done it before. In his second year since Florida, they went undefeated, or at least improved the record. I think a lot of people are expecting that. I think that side of the Big Ten West is definitely open. You got Nebraska, Minnesota, Wisconsin on that side of the Big Ten. So it's going to be really interesting to watch that, how it's that playing out, and whatnot. Let's go to the Big 12, which that's going to be interesting to itself. I have Oklahoma winning the Big 12. Jalen Hurts comes from Alabama to take over the Lincoln Riley offense. Oklahoma has won the last 2 Heisman Trophy winners, the last 2 number 1 picks in the NFL draft. Baker Mayfield did it in 2017, and Kyler Murray did it last year for the Sooners. I don't think the Sooners will be that offensively explosion as they have been in the past 2 years. I think Jalen Hurts as a quarterback to Mayfield and Murray is a step back. But you think about it, Jalen Hurts is a winner. And that's what he does. He, he's won a lot of games for Alabama. Um, Brought back Alabama last year when Tua got hurt in the SEC title game. So, can't. Is the question for Oklahoma? Doesn't matter who plays quarterback, as long as they're a dual threat they're associated with Lincoln Riley. I don't know. We'll have to find out. I have Oklahoma losing to Texas. That's the only loss, but I do have Oklahoma beating the Texas in the Big 12 title game. I have Texas going at 10-2. They have a really key matchup week 2 against LSU. LSU comes to Texas to meet the Longhorns. That's going to be a good matchup for Texas. Hey, you got that big Sugar Bowl win over Georgia last year. You had that same Ncaa post game conference saying that hey, Texas is back. Now this is the time that you gotta show that Texas is back, and beating LSU will go a long way. I think for me, Texas won't be back till they win a Big 12 title, till they're in the college football playoff. And quite frankly, I don't think Sam Darnold is the quarterback to do it for the Longhorns. He's a good quarterback, but he's not a Vince Young. Even a Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy wasn't the talented quarterback as everybody thought he was, but he got the job done and he won the ball games. For me, Washington, Texas. And another thing that would make Texas back is don't trip up against Kansas or West Virginia or whatnot. Beat the teams that you're supposed to beat week in and week out. Let's be honest, for Oklahoma and Texas, the only team that could trip them up should be Oklahoma and Texas. The power of Oklahoma and Texas and against everybody else, that's a big drop off. But for the Pac-12, going into Iowa State, what Mike Campbell has done with the Cyclones, it's something to be looked at for sure. And the TCU is always going to be a powerhouse in the Big 12. And Oklahoma State, it's no pushover. No, I got Oklahoma State going 9-3. I got TCU going 9-3. Iowa State going to 10-2, and Beta 6-6. So Big 12 also, it's going to be interesting to watch down the stretch. For the ACC, I got Clemson winning the part of the division and Miami. Clemson and Miami for the title game. I think Clemson wins just because Trevor Lawrence. Here's the difference maker at quarterback. We saw him in the national title game. And if he could have come out this year, he could possibly be a number one pick. It would be him and Justin Herbert out of Oregon. I think Tua's going to be a first round pick. But in short in stature, I think Lawrence and Herbert is more of a pro style, pro typical offense. Because for me, if Justin Herbert has Clemson's talent around him, he's just as successful as Trevor Lawrence for sure. And would Trevor Lawrence be successful with Oregon's talent? I don't think so. You got to really take into consideration that Oregon had a lot of drops last year. They had 52 drops. That was at least top 5 in the country. that has to get better for the Oregon Ducks. Before we get out of here, um, I just want to say I'm excited for football. I know I'm a big Duck fan. We'll have an Oregon preview. Probably right around the 17th or the 18th. I gotta go to California to visit some family. Um, but hey, it's August 1st. We're talking about football on the channel. We're gonna do NFL, of course, weekly previews and recaps. I have an NFL season preview for you guys, and hey, it's August 1st. Football is back, and it's football season. Baseball's heating up with all the league races, the wild card races. And for sure, once again, my name's been Jason from College Grove, Oregon. And once again, you've been watching the Humpy Report, and have a great day.